What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Queer and Present. My name is JB, and I'm here. Listen, we have a lot to get to today. It's been a busy damn week. Um, yeah, we probably should have done that. My bad. Yeah,
Surprise, motherfuckers. We're kicking this shit off.
some fries, motherfuckers. Listen, you get it. We get it. You get started whenever we get started. It is what it is. So listen, before we get into all the bullshit that happened this week, how is everyone doing?
There's a lot.
Like before we even get into the mess.
I actually don't have it in the room right now, but I do have my answer for that. I'm working on my passport.
I have one of
I
those.
I say that with a sort of joke. It expired and I need to renew it, and I believe that I need to renew it now. So yeah,
Before
that's a
it
thing.
goes, we can go.
Life is continuing. It is continuing on this wonderful slide into hell. That's my feelings on it. Is the political landscape, those are showing a reflection and it's annoying me. The political landscape is terrifying, and I am less than excited by everything that's gone on this week. What about you, Tyler?
Personally, I've had a lot of chaos going on in my life. Surprise, surprise. But I got to
Shaka gasp.
right, shocking gasp. But last week, I got to do something that that I had been like it was a highlight of my entire life. So
Yeah.
that and then this is just kind of like zoom. It's like it's like
Yeah.
one of those it's like riding one of
A log
the
flume?
world's tallest roller coasters. No, because
Yeah.
I mean it was just like straight up just like oh, this is amazing. Ah! Straight down. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. How about you, JB?
Listen, if the aliens come, please take me now. Like I'm ready. Like if the Lord
Absolute
want to come
facts.
back, come
They're
on.
called extraterrestrials. We have to be.
I
ready
can
Be
do
polite.
it.
with their
Be
species.
polite to our potential overlords.
Right. I thought AI was our potential overlord.
Listen, Skynet.
They're still working.
If you want to
They're
just,
still working.
I'm ready. Like I'm ready. That's all I'm saying. So, it's been a really stressful 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I realized that like June for me, I don't know. I don't think that God hates gays, but he definitely doesn't have isn't a fan of me. Because every time June comes around, something happens.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, so let's just get into it. Let's start with the debate. Like, so
we got
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
hear
be
Donald
honest.
Trump shit himself on the stage. That was, that's a highlight.
Wow.
That was,
honest,
honestly.
I didn't watch it because I knew that it was just going to be nothing but finger pointing and blaming, and I'm like, this is an actual debate, and I don't even want to support a station that's going to air this type of bullshit.
Yeah. So I want to start with the debate structure itself. That was garbage. It was a 2-minute statement with a 1-minute response. What substance am I supposed to garner from that? What theory and what process am I supposed to understand how you're about to govern? Like, this was literally for sound bites, and that was all they wanted. That's all either side agreed to, was to be able to do sound bites, which honestly plays into Trump's hands, because he is all about sound bites. And the fact that he was able to just spew forth nothing but lies. They've now worked on calling him out, because that gives them tons of opportunity to run this debate for the next 2 weeks while they disprove everything that he said. You could have just challenged him. You could have just counterpointed him on the stage. We saw it in the guy that did the Colorado district for Bobert, and that group of ridiculous morons. He challenged them after everything they said. He called them out and basically said, "You're not answering my question. You didn't answer that question. Could you please answer that question? No, you don't want to? Okay, we're moving on. No, you're done. We're moving on." Like, he honestly led a great debate. That was a great debate to watch, because it was a great moderator who challenged them on every issue. I would have loved to have seen that. Instead, we got 2 minutes of the moderators sitting there silently while Donald Trump lashed out with every lie that he could possibly spew forth from his really, really, probably very diaper-filled pants. And then you had Biden, who everyone was just like, just look like you're all there. Just make sure everything's good. And we didn't get to see it. We saw the opposite. It scared a lot of people. And I watched 10 minutes and I was like, I'm done. JB, you were there and you were listening to it, and I was kind of listening to it, but every 30 seconds I'd hear Biden stumbling over something, and then I'd hear Trump spitting another lie, and I'd just tune it out until they got to discussing their golf game, because that's what I want to hear from my presidential candidates. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You have no substance to actually do this? I mean, the only person who provided some substance was Biden, but even then, he couldn't really generate a coherent thought in those 2 minutes that made me feel like, okay, great. I'm excited to see you giving us real facts and real information. Instead, he saved all of it for the after show. Like, did his meds finally kick in? What the hell?
So what
Like,
I'm
it was
hearing is it was
so
like the
weird.
difference between high school debate versus whatever the fuck that was
Oh my god, I
is the
wouldn't even
difference
call that a high
between
school debate.
high school wrestling and professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent reference. That was a pretty solid reference for it, because high school wrestling, at least they try. At least there's something in the debate, because those kids have studied their ass off. I should know. I was on our debate team, but
Like there's
you
a
go from
structure.
that to
There's something
yeah,
that you have to follow.
to a
There are
show, and
rules.
a show and a presentation, and this fucking what are those, the peacocking on stage by Trump, and lost staring at a back wall from Biden. I felt, and then of course, and I'm going to throw it back to everybody else with this. Everyone started going, "These are our options." JB, do you want to
Exactly.
pick up on that one? Do you want to pick up on that one, JB?
Yeah, I
These
mean,
are our options.
here's the deal. All right, so let's do this. Number one, did Joe Biden do a terrible job at this debate? Yes. Yes, he did. Is he still the best of the two options that we have?
By far. By far.
So I have an interjection there.
Hold on. Let me.
If you say Kennedy, I'm gonna cry.
Let me finish.
Just
I
hear me out.
understand that there is a need, a desire, a want to have better people on the stage or running. I get
Or
it.
just all of them. Let's just throw that in there. Or just
Yeah.
have all of them on the stage for all the parties that actually exist. Sorry, I need to throw that in there.
Nope, I got it. But listen, this is what we fucking have. And until you're ready to actually do the work to change the way that our government is structured, like fucking, it's not like Civ 6. You can't just hit a button and change it. So until you were willing
Set our policies.
right,
Yeah. Yep.
until you're ready to make that change and actually go in and do that, we got to work within the confines of what we have.
Yeah, so my interjection was, what do you think that debate would have looked like if they had made sure that all the people that were actually going to be on the ballots in all of the states were present for the debate and were able to express their views and challenges?
It would have been a shit show anyway, either way.
Yeah, I would stand by my statement that I think the debate design was garbage. I think that 2 minutes is atrocious. It is not enough to do anything, and a 1 minute response is equally terrible. But I would throw in the idea that
But it only takes 60 seconds to say you're wrong.
it takes 4 for that idiot. But and follow it up with zero substance. But it it would have been a mess. It would have been a whole lot of finger pointing at Trump and referencing all of the court cases and all of the things that very few people would have been able to insert all of their actual um they would be able to insert their actual platforms that they're running on so that we could learn who the hell we're voting for. The only thing that we really found was Trump still never answered a question. He always just went back to slamming random statements against Biden. And you had Biden not being able to formulate a full coherent thought, one due to age, but two because Trump was doing what he wanted to. He was flustering the hell out of him because that was the easiest way to get him off topic. If Biden just simply said, "You're wrong. Here's my facts, and here's what I plan to do," and actually said that in a 60-second thing, which apparently he had a week prep for this, and he left all of his coherent thoughts and meds back at Camp David, so he was unable to follow through with what he should have done. I mean,
So
a
hold on,
high
I'm going to
school could have
interject.
done a better job.
I'm going to interject right here, and excuse me, and I'm going to start off by saying that I am not a fan of Joe Biden. Just going to say that right off the bat. That being said, the other way that this debate was structured that I did not agree with is that they didn't have any notes. They weren't allowed to have notes. They weren't allowed to have anything like that. So this was never going to be about substance.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, the entire thing was based on this 2 minute responses or 2 minute statements and 1 minute responses. There was very little other things allowed.
So when you are not doing the job and you are, because here's the thing, Donald Trump was able to go on there and look and appear to be as calm and coherent as he could be because he didn't have to have facts. He didn't have to bring anything. All he had to do
was just a bully.
All he had to do was just go up there.
Done in debates is just bully the other person.
Right. But also all he had to do was just get up there and just be himself. And say everybody was wrong. Say he's a lie. Call everybody liars and say they're wrong and just do the Donald Trump shtick. And he's gonna look great. Joe Biden, he's 81 years old, and I'm not going to say that he has dementia or any of that stuff because I actually don't believe that he does. I do think that he's just 81 years old, and sometimes you just get tired. You know what I mean? Like, you're not as sharp as you were before, but if you don't have to, they're asking Joe Biden stuff about his record, and he is running on his record. Huh?
You're good. Keep going.
Yeah. And they're asking him questions about being president and having the economy. Like, he's having to defend his record, which means all that Donald Trump has to do is say he's lying and not answer questions. So the harder lift was for Joe Biden to begin with. Like, so I say all of that to say that in my personal opinion, they should have been able to have notes because, like, no one, I don't think I could have gotten up there with and been able to answer the questions out of order because they don't know the order that the questions are going to be in. It's literally just going to be, you know, hey, you said this thing. I'm drilling all of these facts and figures and things and stuff in my head, and you are literally have to come up with it at a moment's notice. I don't know if I could do that at 43 years old.
I know I couldn't.
No, yeah. I had a team of 3 when we were doing our debate, and I had my valedictorian and my salutatorian who were responsible for a lot of the various specifics. I was the more well-spoken and like common speaking person, so I was the transitory person who was able to tie one person's point to the next person's lead up, and that's how we ran ours. If I was trying to remember that, I would have done terrible. But because I had those 2 basically fact machines sitting next to me, I was able to start setting it up and tying it up from our paper, from my research, from the general information that I had from all of the different things to tie into the specifics that would trigger a memory for the 2 of them. I mean, one of them, for the love of God, was a national spelling bee champ. You don't think he has a good memory? I
Right.
relied on him to know all of that crap. If he couldn't tie it together. You always should have some reference point to help you out, especially the sitting president of the United States,
Right.
who has thousands of people that report to him and help him design and build out plans to meet his agenda. He doesn't sit there and think about the minutia of every single aspect of that. He signs off on the generalized plans that all of his department heads, the Secretary of the Interior, the Secretary of Transportation and Labor, all of these guys are the ones who build the platforms based on his agenda and then give him that information. And then he's like, yes, follow through with that, or no, we're not going to do that, because that's his role.
Right.
He's not the minutia guy. You ask any, I guarantee you go back and you ask any president over the last 40 years, and very few, if any of them, would be able to pull out specific facts from their presidency that a person that worked in that specific area of one of the departments actually went through and found all the information.
Well, just ask
So
any
give them their
CEO of
notes.
any fucking company.
Oh yeah, do they know
Yeah,
every
I
little
mean-
piece of their thing? Not a clue.
So for me, I look at that and I say, okay, like knowing that he doesn't have notes, so everything has to come from memory. He's 80 fucking 1 years old. He's
Which
old
is
as damn Methuselah.
ableist.
Huh?
I mean, quite frankly, that's ableist.
Mm-hmm.
For them
Absolutely.
yeah, that is completely ableist. I mean, I have dyscalculia where when I'm trying to recall facts or whatever, digits might get switched in my mind.
Same.
You
I
I
have the
couldn't
same
do
thing.
that if I wasn't able to write, 1.6 billion or whatever, and I had to recall from memory, was it 20% or was it 24? Was it 32? Or all those numbers? Like I couldn't do that. And
Yeah.
we already know that Biden does have a stuttering problem, has a speech problem that is documented. So the fact that they the fact that they set it up that way, knowing those things, really put him at a disadvantage to begin with.
Yes.
Trump, I think, probably has the same kind of thing, but his automatic knee-jerk response whenever he can't come up with an answer is to say you're wrong, or that's not true, or something like that, while he formulates whatever lie he's trying to say.
And here's the thing, like he
Or
literally
redirect to bully whoever it was by trying to be a comedian.
he doesn't answer questions. He actually said the term black jobs. Like they're taking all the black jobs.
Yep.
What the fuck is a black job?
What?
Yeah, that was an actual statement from it, and people have been making memes of it. By like, there was a couple of I literally saw this on TikTok. There were a couple of Latino guys working in an area, and they're like, look, it's a black person. The black person taking the job, and they went running over, and this Amazon girl who'd apparently agreed to be part of it looked over at the side of the screen and then took off running, like, oh God. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You have no reference point for it, and that was the whole joke. These guys were like farm workers who were building a fence, and they turned around and saw an Amazon person and were like, "We're gonna get them because they're taking our jobs." I was like,
Yeah, like
the fuck? What are you talking about?
It's like, are we talking about how country is becoming more and more like black hip hop? Like, what's going on here?
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. So, but either way, like, everybody calm down. Like, real talk, calm down. Like, we do not have, at this point, it is when we're recording this on July 3rd. So, as a matter of fact, y'all, speaking of, I saw something on the internet today and it made me smile. I don't think America deserves a birthday party.
No, we're that trashy kid who just wrecked the whole place, and now you're like, well, now I get my birthday. The hell you do?
I don't think America deserves a birthday this year.
Go to your room.
Yeah, pretty much.
You need to go back and think about the shit that you've done. The other thing that I was going to say is shut the fuck up with them damn fireworks. I'll get into that
too.
I'll get to that in a minute later.
Yeah, speaking of ableism,
I'll get to that later. At any rate, the other thing that I was going to say was, listen, I get we don't like any of the we don't like the options that are placed in front of us. The time that we could have made changes has passed. You either did not show up, you did not make your voice heard loud enough.
Oh, we were gate capped. I mean, let's be real. We were gate capped.
Oh, 100%.
We were not given the opportunity to
how many opportunities? I was going to say, how many times did you see a primary debate on either side?
On either side? Oh, I watched every single Republican debate. But you have to remember, there were 4 of them, and Donald Trump didn't show up to any of them.
Yep.
And that should have been, to me, in my personal opinion, that should have been disqualifying. That should have been, as an American, if you are not going to show up and be a part of the process of choosing our elected leader, then you do not get to be an elected leader. It's just that simple. He didn't show up. He's we'll talk about that in the Supreme Court era section. Hold on. He didn't show up to debates because he was like, I already got it. Why am I going to debate these people? These are losers. Blah, 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 blah. And y'all fucking ate it up. And so now, I had somebody earlier today that was like, I don't like either of them. I wish we had better choices. At least on the Republican side, you had the choice. You had the chance to have a better choice. You literally had the chance, and you chose to sit it out or to let this man run roughshod over the Republican Party. And that is why we are in the situation that we are in right now. It's just that
Democrats. Like, I said, but we're talking about the Democrats. Like,
specifically, I think both of us are referencing the Democratic Party and why there was no challenge. Nobody was able or allowed to step up and say, I might be a better option. Let me try.
Here's, I think that is because
you're not entitled to a second, or
you're not entitled to a second term. I agree with you, but there is deference that is always played to the incumbent.
I understand that and believe that preference can be allowed for that, but flat out acceptance of the fact that no one else will be able to, we're going to run this person, is crap. Not being able to have somebody step up and make the statement of, I think he is a fantastic person, he's definitely better than the other guy, is the reason why he won.
Especially when political opinion is like in the toilet.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't believe that he's
That's just.
I don't believe that he's doing a good job or a good enough job, and I think his age will become a factor. So I am going to step up. Be called out for calling him out for his age if that's what you want to do, but at the very least, give the voters an option. Give us something. We should have been allowed to have presidential debates to have this person who was going to be the challenger against Trump step up and actually make a challenge. Like stand up to the people who think that they can do better than you. And if they can, if you're not able to, then recognize that that's a possibility. Like recognize that and allow for that because otherwise we're left with two men who one I'm worried he's going to fall over and the other one I'm 95% sure he soiled himself. And I let you try to figure out which one I'm talking about.
One of them did soil themselves.
100%. You can hear if anybody is curious. It's I don't remember the exact time,
Wow.
but it is recorded on multiple things. The wetness of the relief that he put into his pants was horrifying. Like you could hear it on a mic audible 3 feet away.
I hate everything about
And
what
this
you're
was
talking
not a
about right
Depends
now.
commercial.
No, it isn't. Although I'm very happy that that podium was in the way and they cut away quickly because otherwise I'm fairly certain we would have seen an octogenarian with a brown spot on his pants.
I hate everything about what you're saying right now.
I mean,
at this point, maybe they should have sponsored the damn thing.
Yep. That and the Alzheimer medication and what the hell's the what the hell's the other one? Depends, Alzheimer's, and Ensure. Welcome to the presidential debate.
Sponsored by Why the Fuck Are You Even Running?
Yeah. The fact that somebody pulled up a video, and I would love to reference it. I might actually try while we go to something else. Somebody brought up a video of things that are younger than both of the current presidential candidates, and the list was terrifying. Like it was stuff that you're like, that was like 50 years ago. Yeah, 50 years ago.
Made me laugh. I just wanted you to see it.
Nice.
Okay, going back to the regular layout.
But I also want to say, like, I'm not saying that in an ageist way, because it has nothing to do with how old they are, but it has everything to do with their medical history and track record, and the fact that what the hell are we going to do in 4 years? Seriously.
Yep.
We've given no one the opportunity to show their medal or whatever to advance. I mean, we got Kamala, who, if Joe were to kick the bucket, then she'd be president anyway. And it's like, who's next? Where's that growth? I don't see it.
Yep.
The only other person that I ever heard was Bernie Sanders, and he's, same in that octogenarian. I just,
yeah,
it blows my mind.
Here's the list.
People younger.
Oh yeah, there are. There's actually. You want to hear some of the things that are younger than both of these men? And like you said, I am not trying to be ageist. I honestly, if either person I felt was fully capable of holding this office, fantastic. Don't care about your age. I'm not totally sure I'm convinced on the Biden side, and I know for sure I am not convinced on the Trump side. Color TVs. Color TVs are 1954, 12 years younger than both of them. It gets better. The country of India. The country of India was created 2 years after Donald Trump was born. The high five, first done in 1977, first officially recognized in 1957. The civil rights movement, the states of Hawaii and Alaska, Frisbees, hula hoops, Star Wars. I could keep going. I could probably find another 30 things that everybody.
No, we're good. So we're actually going to change. We're shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Terrifying. and move on to Delusions.
Like that this is reality?
So, guys, the Supreme Court. They've we've lost the plot. I don't. First things first. We're gonna do this in order. The Chevron decision was a lot. Professor Tig, why don't you explain to people what the Chevron decision was?
Okay. The reversal of the Chevron decision, basically, and that's the best way to describe it. So the Chevron decision was made back, I don't remember the exact year, I believe it was late
81.
70s, 80s. Okay. It was early 80s, and essentially it was created to allow groups like the EPA and other regulatory people the ability to set regulations and take those regulations and use them as a fantastic stick against corporations and their general I get to do whatever I want kind of attitude. And reversing that has already removed a massive ability for the US government to put any regulations onto corporations. It's essentially giving them a free rein to start breaking down and doing whatever they want without any. It's like, well, that's against EPA standards. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, well, I'm going to take you to court over it. And then the courts look at the recent Supreme Court decision for the reversal of the Chevron decision that essentially they're looking at it and they're going, well, the Supreme Court already said that you can do this, so I don't know why you're bringing this to me. It basically has taken the reins off of corporate abuse and has allowed them to start doing whatever they want, and it has taken almost all, if not all, of the teeth out of any regulatory group in the government. So if you're worried, if you're worried about the climate, if you're worried about just your general ability to be protected in your job, be worried, because that Chevron decision has removed those safeguards.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way I can do it. I could go on with more specifics, but that's the best way to describe it.
So that it also basically took the teeth out of all of the and I'm sorry, I was reading something, so I mean you may have said this and I missed it. Took the teeth out of all government regulations. Basically anything that is not that was vague, or even most of the things are intentionally vague. Leave it up to the experts to drill down. Well, now it says that the courts are responsible for interpreting those laws and not experts. And the first, as a matter of fact, today, the first one of those decisions or things that happen that is caused by this decision, the protections for the trans people.
That's what I was looking up.
Yeah, to get their for medications and things like that. That has now been upended, thanks in part to the Supreme Court overturning the Chevron clause. Yeah. So it's starting. It's starting already. This was a Supreme Court who, in all of their individual confirmation hearings, said Roe was settled precedent, and then went on ahead and tore it down. And Clarence Thomas has already said that Obergefell is the next one he's coming after. So he's literally asking someone to sue someone over gay marriage so they can get rid of it. Like it's happening. It's happening right in front of us, and there's nothing at this point. The only thing that we can do to stop it is to vote and hope them motherfuckers die. So then we get into Monday morning. I wake up and start my drive on the way back to Kansas City from a fabulous Pride weekend in St. Louis. And I find out that Trump has immunity.
There was maybe 5 far right wing law experts who stated that this was going to happen. Nearly every other legal scholar in the country believed they might give him a little bit, but they're not going to hand him immunity. And then they did.
And then they took it a step further because he was asking for immunity so that he couldn't be prosecuted. Mm-hmm. They put everything into these 3 buckets: official acts, the core functions, official acts, and unofficial acts. He's immune for all core functions. He's immune for most official acts, and he's not immune for unofficial acts, as things that he would do in his private citizen capacity, things like that. But where they went further was they said you can't use official acts as evidence for the unofficial acts. So, for example, if he goes and he goes to Tyler Incorporated and says, "Hey, if you endorse me, I will give you $50,000," and you say, "Sure," but he can now say he gets caught, charges are brought against him. He can say, "Well, I was on an official phone call." Now they no longer can use that phone call as evidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we've got that's insane. And I saw a bunch of people on Twitter talking about, basically they said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue, and can say it's a presidential act, and he can go after his political opponent. So Joe Biden, go do what you got to do. They said it's legal, and part of me is like, that shit's funny, but then part of me is like, we don't even want to start that precedent.
No.
Well, basically, what I'm getting from all of this is that we were not tough enough on the January 6th rioters and actually prosecute them all as seditionists, anyone that was involved, anyone that had ties to anyone that was involved, and basically do what fucking McCarthy did with communism and say, you are being, you do not have the interests of the
un-American activities.
Yeah, these are un-American activities. You are colluding, and strip everyone of their positions.
I agree. I mean, if I'm honest, I agree with that. I think that
it is
taking it to that level was
that there was. It is absolutely clear at this point that there was an insidious infiltration into our core government.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like fucking Cobra or stuff from
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
That Hydra's coming to get us, y'all.
Trying to it's got the multiple heads, and it's
Hydra.
Yeah, this is fucking Hydra.
Cobra was great too, though. I'm not gonna tell you. Listen,
both of those were fantastic.
They're both very much that nationalist, authoritarian, Stasi type government
Yeah.
and ideology.
I mean, I think that what's frustrating to me about it is that half of the country sees this as a great thing. And that's scary to me.
Yeah.
That is in my personal opinion, I feel like that is the thing about this that is the most honestly insidious. Is that we are, that it's literally
so brain dead.
Yeah, like it's scary and gross and weird and I'm like, I gotta get my passport renewed, boo boo, because we can't live like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I love this country. Like I wouldn't be doing this if I love this country. Dawn Trail is out. I could be playing Final Fantasy 14 right now. But I love this country and I want it to do better, and I want it to be better. I want to leave this country to the next generation better than the way that we found it, and we are not doing that right
now.
No. Last thing that we're going to talk about tonight, because I want to keep this to a tight hour, because we got some stuff to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, I want to play Zenless Zone Hero because it just came out.
Okay.
Or Satisfactory, but we'll do one of our 12.
We'll do something. But Project 2025.
I'm out. I hate that thing.
Like, people have been finally starting to talk about it. Talk about what's in it, huh?
I said it took them
long enough.
Yeah,
it's literally been out for how long?
A year and a half, something.
Year and a half, or something like that. If you don't know what
Project works for years.
If you don't know what Project 2025 is, it is a document. I will say, it has not been endorsed by President Trump yet. But if you look at Agenda 47, which is his, it hasn't been. If you look at Agenda 47, which is his thing, it's quite something.
My face wasn't about the fact that it hasn't been endorsed by him, but it's frightening how many videos of him they reference when they try to talk about their opinions.
Yeah.
For Project 2025.
Look it up on the internet. It's, it is what it is. I'm not getting into all the details of what it is. But the president of the Heritage Foundation said that the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling is encouraging, and that the group is already in the process of taking the country back. He's quoted in saying, "We are in the process of a second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be."
That is a specific quote from the leader of Project 2025.
i.e., this is a Heritage Foundation thing.
Oh yeah, they're a huge part of it. They're not the core, but they're a huge part of it. And that statement being made by their leadership should tell you everything. Basically, if you don't want to be hurt, sit down, shut up, and let us do what we want to do. If you stand up, we will knock you down. That is the best way to paraphrase what he said. We're taking this country back, and it won't involve any bloodshed so long as you just let it happen.
Yep.
Says
what?
Every single villain every single time.
Yep. Yeah. This is where we're at. This is what we're in. And I think
we could fall down a conspiracy theory or conspiracy fact rabbit hole talking about the Heritage.
Yeah, like this isn't like but the thing is, it's only a conspiracy if it's not true. They're giving us the plans.
No, it is a conspiracy. It's only a theory if it's not true.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
But
the Heritage
like,
Foundation has been conspiring for over 100 years.
and interestingly enough, for those of us who are, I'm always like, let me get into the things of the things of the things. So I looked up memberships in the Heritage Foundation, and where is it? I'm trying to find it again. Clarence Thomas, pretty much all the entire conservative wing of the Supreme Court is on the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, they're fucking Hydra.
So they know what, like, they knew what that they're making this happen. They are laying the groundwork for all of these things to happen. They have given a president sweeping executive powers that they've never had before. And we are all looking at it go, and there's nothing we can do about it. Supreme Court justices for life. There's they can be impeached, but the odds of that happening, which AOC said that she was going to bring up articles of impeachment. Great. Try it. Do your best. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah.
We already know Clarence Thomas is corrupt. We already know it. It's written on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, we know he's corrupt. We know he's bought and paid for by Harlan Crow. We know those things. What is, like, that statement that I just read chilled me to my bone, because that said, like you said, that is sit down and shut up and take it.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we are willing to kill you over our ideals.
Yep.
And if you don't toe that line, which is anti-gay, anti-trans,
anti-Muslim, anti-Islam, anti-Jew, name any religion that doesn't center itself around evangelical Christians, and it's in there.
That is what we are contending with, and that's what we're having to deal with. And it is important that if you are a minority of any kind, if you are a woman, if you are queer, we please look up what Project 2025 is, and look up what Agenda 47 is. It is the time to do your homework and tell the people in your life that you are not standing for this. You're not, that it is not something that personally, at this point, this is worth losing family members over. It is. Like, it's that scary. And I know that I'm sounding alarmist right now, but fuck. Like, if you have people in your life that believe in those ideals, it is time to cut them off. Sorry, boo-boo. Like, it's... Now, on to some levity. People with fireworks, please come to the front of the congregation. Let me tell you hoes something. I don't like anything that's louder or more obnoxious than I am. And fireworks are both. So what I'm going to need for all of y'all to do with your little fireworks, I let it go on there are 2 days out of the year where I'll shut the fuck up and just let it be what it's going to be. And that is 4th of July and New Year's Eve. Do all your fucking fireworks you want to on those 2 days. The other 363 days, 4 on a leap year, please stop. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of it sounding like Fallujah outside my damn door. I'm over it. People got babies. They got fur babies. You got the fur babies all running around here scared and shit because everybody deciding that now is the time that we're gonna just set off fireworks all week. Why do you want to blow your money up? I don't understand it. Do you know? Listen, next time you want to go buy some fireworks, just send me the money. I'll waste it. Now
It
listen,
won't be as pretty.
I don't give a damn.
We'll get to see the colors and the loud booms.
Give JB the money, and he will absolutely be the prettiest thing and the most colorful thing walking around the streets. You don't gotta worry about firing that shit off into the sky, watch it for 2 seconds, and be like, well, shit. You could also spend 2 minutes watching this man strut up and down the street and be way happier.
And I'm gonna say thank you. We'll have a dialogue. It'll be great. And also, for you dumb, crusty motherfuckers who decided that I'm not going to get fireworks, I'm just gonna shoot my gun in the air. Do you hoes know that what goes up must come down?
Yeah, you better be shooting caps. Blanks.
Do you understand that bullet that you shoot in the air has to come down?
Here's another fun fact about that. Your fireworks might cost you $30, and they are these beautiful, colorful arrangements. Took a lot of chemistry and design to make sure that it goes exactly where it's supposed to be an enjoyable experience. Your one stupid bullet that doesn't do anything but made one loud pop, a little bit of a flash, and that's it. That's all you get. That cost you like $1 for one of those 45 rounds you're firing off? Are you stupid?
Yes, they're stupid. Yes, they are.
Bullets are expensive, you dumbass.
They're shooting things into the air and not thinking about the fact that those things are gonna. Do you think that it's just gonna shoot straight up into space? You think there's just a gang of bullets hanging out in space, just floating across the damn universe because you shot it in the air? Is that what you think? Bring that motherfucker's gonna come right back down, and I hope it come down on your head.
That's science. I don't believe in that. I rebuke that.
We are not promoting violence toward anyone.
That in
we
the
are
name
just
of MAGA.
bringing an educational. We are just bringing an educational awareness to the people that are dumb enough to fire firearms off into the sky. I would happily love to see.
If you shoot a firearm into the air,
we don't need to get struck. We don't need to get struck with another thing again. I'm trying to give us some coverage here. Hold on a minute.
Not to mention, every single bullet has a ballistic pattern, which means that when it's found, it can be traced. They will trace it back to your location, and then they can find you. I don't even know.
You go to jail. You were brandishing and firing a weapon in the open air.
Yep.
That is a thing you can go to jail for. Yeah. Discharged a firearm. Yep. So just keep all that in mind. Please just be safe. Like that's our general statement to everybody. Just be safe.
Yeah, don't be smart. Be smarter than you are.
And
honey, that bus left the station. They're gone. Those people missed that train, so it's okay. I'm just trying to say be safe, because if you're going to be safe, you just will be smart and not shoot a bullet into the sky. It's going to come down.
Act like your mama. Act like you got a praying grandma. How about that?
There you go. I got one. I would actually like to call CNN down to the front of the stage. I know it's strange to hear someone who is liberal leaning call out a generally liberal group. What is wrong with you idiots? How dare you? How dare you use a presidential debate for us to essentially provide sound bites for your coverage? How dare you diminish the American person and the viewers of your station to that? Are you kidding me? You can't provide us with something that is actually going to give some level of substance and some level of actual thing. And who took all of your spines? Who painted them all yellow? Why are not a single one of you willing to step up and challenge either past president on any of their issues? Call out Biden's bullshit with Palestine. Call out Trump's general bullshit. Like, just absolutely. Why are you not Well, they could smell it on the stage, but that's a different discussion. The fact that not a single item of substance was gleaned from that debate from either person, and it's not changed anyone's opinion, and it's not given anybody any understanding of what their plans are, is a travesty. A travesty to news media over the last 100 years. You absolutely smeared Murdoch and all of the rest of them in their graves because not a single one of you was willing to step up and be a news person. And it is whoever at CNN higher ups thought this was a good idea. There is not a single person I have talked to who thought that that debate was anything other than just a mess, an absolute mess. And I'm not just talking about the two people up on the stage, the one who made a mess in his pants and the one who just couldn't keep his stuff together in his head. I'm talking about the fact that it was just so poorly organized. It was so poorly done. You hyped it up like crazy. And I've seen TikToks of people in other countries who have made jokes about the fact that this is what they were presented on a presidential debate. The people who are meant to run the quote free world. Like, are you kidding me? How dare you? How dare you bring that before us? Go sit your ass back in the back. Just go sit in the back. You're as good as Newsweek to me right now. Good as Newsmax, whatever the hell it is.
Tyler, you got anybody?
You provided zero substance.
You think anybody you want to bring to the congregation? I got one more, but it's personal.
Not that I can think of, but I did want to say one more thing about the fireworks thing.
Go ahead.
It is not unpatriotic to not want to shoot off fireworks. In fact, it is actually a great service to the patriots and to the people that have actually fought, our veterans who have actually been overseas, that have that suffer from PTSD from hearing actual gunfire all the time. So if you want to thank a veteran for their service, then don't shoot off a firework in front of them.
Or get a sparkler. You know what? Sparklers are pretty. You can write your name in them bitches.
Sparkler, fountain, anything that doesn't make a boom.
I don't like them. I don't like them, but you can at least, you can write your name in it. You can be an Instagram model with that thing. Do what you got to do. But before we get out of here, I have one more set of people that I need to bring down to the congregation. And this is personal, but I feel like I got to get it out. American Family Insurance, please bring your ass to the front. Now listen.
2 minutes.
Yeah. Give it to him.
I don't appreciate y'all playing in my face. Like, I just don't. I don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks ago, I got hit by a meth head. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I talked to the man. I'm going to do this as fast as possible. Talked to the man on that Friday before. We had a conversation. Gave him the story. He said everything sounds good. Talked to that man the following Tuesday. So that would have been last Tuesday. Told him what happened. You know, he came back to me and said, "So here's the deal. I just talked to the our insured grandfather that he confirmed that he ran the light and that he hit you. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of it." I said, "Cool, bet, everything's great." Then we get to yesterday. I'm having a day. You know what I'm saying? I'm at home by myself. I'm sad because, you know, life is life and it is what it is. And then I get a call where they tell me, well, they finally got a hold of the person of the driver, and he says he didn't run the red light. So we're gonna have to take this to arbitration. Then he says, that dude is a very good liar. So you know it, I know it, Jesus know it, Helen Keller know it, and Ray Charles know it, and you still telling me we got to go to arbitration? So now I got to come off $500 out of my pocket that I don't have. Patreon.com/KC Caffeine. And, you know, and to get my car fixed, and then I got to go and figure out how we going to do the arbitration. Listen, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. We pay our insurance, it gets paid every time that bill come through. Now, my insurance has been great. Shelter insurance, get it. But they didn't sponsor this, so I'm not giving them too much. But either way, like,
I'm in good hands with Allstate.
What the fuck is like? What you told me you were taking care of this, and now you're gonna come back to me and tell me you're not? And you know I had an attitude. I was like, okay. Like the fact that you said he is a very good liar tells me you don't believe him when he's talking. And still, you're like, well, we're going to give it the arbitration. I get that your job as an insurance adjuster is to try to save money for your company and not pay out if you don't have to. But the fact that at the very end of the day, this meth man who was high at the damn time hit my car. I'm over it.
And then went to a motel, an hourly motel, to shoot up more.
Now, allegedly, because I don't know if they went to go do that. I know they went to an hourly motel. So
they weren't going home.
I might have been their home girl. At any rate, I had to get that off my chest. Fuck American Family Insurance and the horse they rode in on. Run me my check. It's just that simple. Run it to me. But we're gonna jump off of here on that. This was a very depressing episode. I need to go kill some shit. So
in a game.
I want to let's finish on a high note though. How did everyone's Pride go? Did you all have an okay Pride month?
I had a great. Well, I'm not sure if God
actually didn't have an okay Pride.
Well, it was Pride month. I am happy that we get to celebrate it. I wish that people would recognize it the 11 other months of the year, but the fact that you get to go and you get to celebrate with people of like minds and reignite that passion and that drive to find the community and to push forward with progress for all, that always makes me feel good. And that's the note that I want us all to try to end on is there's a lot of crap in the world, but the community's there. And by and large, not all the time, but by and large, it is supportive and pushes to try to make things better for all of us. So
get your ass out there and vote like my life depends on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but I will also say that the Stonewall Memorial Park is a federal park.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got representation not only for that, but in the park system. And that's a public entity.
Well, good. Yep. And on that note, I'm JB. You can find me on KCAPC on everything.
I'm Tegan Drayok. Yeah, a little star 8481. That's his other one that he's not throwing out there. But you can also find me, Tekin Drayok, he, him pronouns at Tehir1, are also at Shadows to Light, the blog that I'll eventually write more about instead of just leaving it on my Word documents. Tyler.
All right, and I am Tyler Thulin. That is my Insta. And you can find me on Facebook and TikTok at Tyler Thulin, where I do lots of singing and stuff. And I'm working on some more music production stuff. That's actually where I was last week, was getting some amazing experience in a studio, in a production studio, and seeing the whole process, and it was just incredible. But yeah, so that's what I do. That's where you can find me.
And on that note, guys, we love you. You only get half a heart from me today, like a Zelda game.
We love you all. Get out and vote.
Yes.
Make a difference in the world.
Yes,
Good
vote,
night.
Positive
vote
one.
like your life depends on it, because
Vote like my life
Our
depends on it.
JBs. Our JBs.
It literally